Which of the following is a weak base? A. Sodium hydroxide, B. Magnesium hydroxide, C. Potassium oxide, or D. Ammonia. Bases are compounds that yield hydroxide ions when dissolved in water. Metal hydroxides are ionic compounds and are strong bases. By strong, we mean that whatever dissolves in water is 100% dissociated or broken up into metal cations and hydroxide ions. For example, if we refer to the periodic table, we find that sodium is a metallic element. Therefore, any sodium hydroxide that is dissolved in water is completely dissociated into sodium ions and hydroxide ions. Therefore, choice A is incorrect. Sodium hydroxide is a strong base. The question is asking for a weak base. Choice B is also a metal hydroxide. If we refer to the periodic table, we find that magnesium is a metallic element. So, magnesium hydroxide is an ionic compound. And any magnesium hydroxide dissolved in water will be completely converted to magnesium ions and hydroxide ions. Therefore, choice B is also incorrect. Magnesium hydroxide is a strong base. What about choice C, potassium oxide? We find that potassium in group 1A in the periodic table. So, we expect potassium oxide to be ionic and dissociate into potassium and oxide ions when dissolved in water. Oxide ions are known to be very reactive with water and are immediately converted to hydroxide ions. An oxide ion readily takes away a hydrogen ion from a water molecule and ends up becoming a hydroxide ion. The water molecule that lost the hydrogen ion also ends up becoming a hydroxide ion. Therefore, we also expect metal oxides to be strong bases. If the oxide of a metallic element is dissolved in water, we expect it to be converted to a metal hydroxide, which dissociates into metal cations and hydroxide ions in water. In the case of potassium oxide, we get potassium ions and hydroxide ions. Therefore, choice C is also incorrect. Potassium oxide is a strong base, not a weak base. You should know that most oxides and hydroxides of metallic elements, such as MgOH2, are insoluble in water. The exceptions are the oxides and hydroxides of the alkali or group 1A metals. We refer to these exceptions as strong soluble bases. Examples of strong soluble bases are sodium hydroxide, which is choice A, and potassium oxide, which is choice C. Both sodium and potassium belong to group 1A. Since we have eliminated choices A, B, and C, the correct answer must be choice D. Indeed, ammonia is a weak base. Ammonia is a molecular compound that is capable of attracting a hydrogen ion away from a water molecule. When an ammonia molecule does this, it ends up becoming a positive ion, called ammonium. And the water molecule ends up becoming a hydroxide ion. An ammonia molecule is able to do this because the nitrogen atom in the molecule has a lone pair, and that is able to share with a hydrogen ion. There is, in fact, an entire class of compounds that behave like ammonia. They are called amines. And they can be thought of as being derived from ammonia. An example of an amine is methylamine, CH3NH2. You can imagine that one of the H atoms in NH3 has been replaced by a CH3 group. It is the nitrogen atom in these molecules that allows them to attract hydrogen ions from water molecules. Ammonia and amines are called weak bases because only a small fraction of the molecules are actually ionized.